Hey, welcome back to another episode of CX Riot Radio, where we talk about customer experience and, stuff still in a hyper caffeinated state. That's right. My name is David. I'm the caffeinated CXO, and I'm the host here on CX Riot Radio. Yeah. So, if you're new to the show, welcome. If you're a returning listener, thank you and welcome back. Today, we have a pretty good episode for you. A pretty good one. Because, well, I think it's pretty timely. I think it's pretty necessary to talk about it. This is going to be one of the and stuff episodes. This is going to be about leadership. About being the leader of a group of people who actually respects that group of people and trusts that group of people to get shit done. So, this one is about a delegation, because delegation is hard, but also delegation is necessary. And if you don't believe that, well, you'll never be the leader that you want to be. And that's okay. That's all right. You don't have to be. But you could be if you learn how to delegate. Because if you're a leader and you're doing everything yourself, you're not leading. You're hoarding. You're clinging to control like a lifeline. Because deep down, you don't trust anyone else to do it right. Look, I get it too. I get it. Because things I could do in like 5, maybe 10 minutes, it might take someone else a couple of hours or days to do, right? If you give a newbie a spreadsheet or a report and you want them to make it right, they're probably going to take a few attempts or some time to do it. But that's okay. So, and this is more especially true if you're really freaking good at what you do. So, you've built up this system in your head where you're the only one who can do it the right way. But that mindset that you may have is the fastest way, the fastest ticket to burnout and bottlenecking the entire team. Delegation isn't a luxury for when you're too busy. It's not some cute management hack, okay? Everyone talks about hacks. Hack this. It's the whole point of leadership. You have to lead. So, I've met a lot of people. I've seen it a lot of times on LinkedIn where people are wearing an 80-hour week like a badge of honor. I work from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 6 days a week, and then I put in an afternoon on the 7th. Cool. Even God took a day off, okay? Okay? And if every decision needs to flow through you, if you need to approve every little tiny thing, every single problem will land in your lap. And don't think that's what makes you valuable. That makes you replaceable. You can't scale yourself. You're not a system. You're a human fucking being. And if your organization can't function without you hovering over every task, then you haven't built a business or a department, or even a team. You've built a prison. So here's what most people get wrong. Delegation isn't about dumping your work on someone and hoping for the best. That's abdication and is irresponsible. That's how you end up with missed deadlines, bad decisions, and burned out team members. Delegation is about transferring ownership, not just the what, but the why, the how, and the outcomes. You don't just say, hey, handle this. You say, this is yours now. I'm here for support, but I trust you to figure it out and get it done. That's how you build leaders, not just workers. And your job as a leader is to create more leaders. So, here's the thing though, right? I hate this, but it's the truth. The more capable you are, the better you are at a task or a system or whatever, the harder it is for you to delegate. Because the gap between what you can do and what others can do is wide, and usually it's widening. You're faster, you're sharper, you already know how the fucking thing works. Training someone else feels like a step backwards. But that is a trap. If you don't slow down to train, to mentor, and to empower, you'll never speed up. You'll stay stuck in the same operational loop month after month after month after month. Leadership isn't about being the best doer in the room. It's about making other people better. And that takes patience and risk tolerance. So there's this person named Layla Hormozi. You might have heard of her, or maybe you've heard of her husband, Alex Hormozi, the $100 million offer and leads guy, right? She has some zones of delegation, the 4 zones to be specific. I wrote these down. So, zone 1 is done or deleted. So these are the low skill, low importance tasks. Admin shit, right? Inbox maintenance, ordering supplies. You don't need a rock star for these. You just need someone with basic reliability. Train them once, let it go. Let it go. Why are you ordering paper for the office if you're leading a department? Yeah. Zone 2, informed progress. This is where a lot of people get nervous. These are high importance tasks that don't require high skill yet. You need to be looped in. Frequent check-ins. What have you done? What's your next step? Not to micromanage, but to guide it before it breaks. Zone 3 is informed results. This is where you assign to high skill people who don't need you breathing down their neck. You care about outcomes, not how the sausage gets made. You check results after and not during. These are the people that you can trust. And zone 4 is don't delegate. This is the no delegate zone. So things like strategy, high risk deals, legal shit, core business direction, these stay with you or the people above you, especially if you're the founder or director. These are the areas where one wrong decision can fuck up the whole thing, just destroy it. So if you memorize those 4 zones, you'll be good. So then, of course, there's the amazing, often heralded, but more often forgotten about, 80-20 principle, right? So here we go. If you're spending 80% of your time solving problems, you're an operator. If you're spending 80% of your time developing people, building systems, shaping culture, and pushing strategy, you're a leader. So which one are you? Are you an operator or are you a leader? Are you the implementer or are you the visionary? Another way of talking about it in a EOS kind of way. So the best leaders live in that 80-20 world. 80% on growth, marketing, culture, vision, systems, blah, 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 blah. And then 20% on cleanup, legal headaches, and crisis control. The only ways to get there is to delegate or delete everything that doesn't serve that top 80%. So, there's a piece that I want to stress, right? There's a massive difference between handing someone a to-do list and giving them a problem space to own. When you say you're now in charge of customer retention, that's not just assigning tasks. That's transferring authority and accountability. You're saying you now own this problem. Innovate, solve, report back. That's how you stop being the bottleneck. That's how you scale capability. That's how you go from leader to multiplier. So there's one other thing that I want to talk about. No, two other things really, but whatever. And it's task relevant maturity. Intel's Andy Grove nailed the idea. Task relevant maturity. It means you don't treat every team member the same. You match the level of guidance to the level of experience for that particular task that you're delegating. A junior hire might be a rock star in one domain and a complete noob in another. You don't just throw them in and hope for the best. That's stupid. You scale your involvement based on their readiness. It's not babysitting. It's leading with your eyes open. Yeah. So delegation can be risky. We all know that. It might get messed up. Sometimes people fail. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather occasionally fix mistakes from people who are learning, or carry the weight of an entire organization on your back indefinitely? Pick your pain. One pain grows your team. The other turns you into a martyr. When you delegate something important, you will have to coach. Ain't no getting around that. Don't skip this part. Give feedback early. Keep the loop tight. Let them fail in a safe container. If you never check, you're not delegating. You're just wishing and hoping. And hope is not a strategy. Great delegation sounds like the following, okay? Here's the outcome that I need. Here's why it matters. Here's how I'll check progress. And you're free to run with it. Let's review results in a couple of days. So, if you can't let go of the small shit, you'll never be trusted with the big shit. And if you want to grow into a leadership role, start acting like one now. Start mentoring. Start documenting. Start letting others take the wheel while you sit co-pilot. Every time you train someone to do what you do, you free up bandwidth for higher value work. You create space for vision. You shift from operator to architect to leader. And that shift That's where the real leadership begins. So, here's the thing. For anybody who's new to leadership or needs a leadership refresher or is looking to get into leadership, here's something that you should remember. Yuck. You're not going to nail it overnight. Delegation is a muscle. You'll screw up. You'll hand something off and it'll crash. It'll burn. You'll trust the wrong person. You'll undertrain or overtrain. It's all part of the deal. It's part of it. But if you don't start, if you keep holding on, then you're the ceiling. You're the constraint. You're the bottleneck, and you're the fucking problem. So if you're serious about growing yourself, your team, your career, get serious about delegation. Stop doing everything. Start teaching. Start trusting. Start letting go. And start fucking leading. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of CX Riot Radio. And if you don't know, we have books, we have merch, we have everything down there on the link tree below. And Linktree is not just for OnlyFans girls anymore. There we go. You have yourself a good night, and I'll see you next time on CX Riot Radio. Bye! Oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share the show so we can make the show grow. Almost forgot about that part. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Please.